Hello, everybody. I'm Jonathan Coachman, and this...
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion Oakland Raiders taking on the NFC champions, the Philadelphia Eagles.
Get ready, get ready. Get ready.
Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis, very pleased to be with you. And the story, Charles, of the Oakland Raiders season, just an incredible one, really, in the East Bay. Folks not expecting much after a 4-12 season in 2018. Fans were coming to terms with saying goodbye. And then a funny thing happened. The Raiders started to win, and they did not stop.
And what a way to go out this would be. I mean, this is like storybook. This is something that you write and you put it on film, and people say, there's no chance that this could happen, except we're witnessing it right now. Think about the great history of the Raiders in Oakland. John Madden is their head coach. Kenny the Snake Stabler, their Hall of Fame quarterback. The old man himself, Willie Brown. Remember that 75-yard interception return against Minnesota? We can still see Willie running in slow motion. He passed away a few months ago, but he'll never be forgotten in Oakland. The great Raiders of the old supporting this Raiders team now, trying to win another Super Bowl.
Meanwhile, it took until Super Bowl 52 for the Eagles to lift the Lombardi Trophy for the first time, and they are back looking for number 2, just 24 short.
Long did it, made it back to the big game, and let's be honest, we're never going to forget that first Super Bowl title. That win over the New England Patriots, the big plays that came out of that, Nick Foles playing quarterback and flinging it all over the place, the Philly special that's turned into a statue outside of their home stadium, the Link. It's absolutely unforgettable, but now they have a chance to add to their Super Bowl collection. They want to hoist one more.
Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. And he'll It into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. With the first touchdown of this Super Bowl, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And on the grandest of stages, with the whole world watching the Super Bowl, they come out and get the first points.
I don't know how you feel about it, Brandon, but for me, watching the beginning of the Super Bowl, I've often wondered how come it's not just a fumble fest? How come the ball's not all over the place? The nerves, the interim in between of the 2 weeks waiting for the game. But this team came out and handled it just like it was a regular season walk in the park. Terrific start.
The Eagles coming out with a healthy... We underline the word healthy. Remember, it was Nick Foles who led the Eagles into the playoffs the last 2 years following the late season Wentz injuries. But now here's Wentz in his third year, looking to make it 2 Super Bowl titles in 3 seasons for Philadelphia. Now a 2-time 1,000-yard rusher for the Bears. This is Jordan Howard. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15. And it's Ertz. That throw good for 4. It's second down. And here are the starters for Philadelphia.
Two-time All-Pro center Jason Kelce is one of the most athletic centers in the league. In fact, he went to the University of Cincinnati as a walk-on linebacker before converting to the offensive line. Can pull, trap, get out in front of runners in any situation, and one of the more intelligent centers in the league as well, handling all of their line calls.
The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on third down. Shotgun now for Wentz. And that's complete to Sanders. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders, 57 yards, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who is a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away.
We got this.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. 7 yards there and a first down. Now they have a little more space to maneuver from the 15, 1st and 10. He's going to air one out. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, second down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Richard. Oh, look at the juke. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland first down.
All day, baby, all day.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
On first down, Carr. He's going deep for Brown. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. These two teams all tied after one.
185. Mike's 5-4.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. Running is Jacobs. Fights off another.
I think the second tackler would have learned from the first.
Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland first down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5.
Let's go.
The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal.
Now. Mike. 180. Watch the curve. 180. We're good. Blue 80. Blue 80.
They'll run the jet sweep with Brown. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Now Carr. That is caught by Brown. Touchdown Raiders. A 7-yard touchdown grab, and the Raiders have taken the lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now this offense about ready to take over again. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Throwing is Wentz. It's caught by Jackson. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports.
Here we go. 180.
A reminder, coming up at intermission, we'll get highlights of this Super Bowl from Jonathan Coachman and the crew in Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much, maybe a yard, and that's all. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. On second down, it's Sanders. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Now Wentz. This is caught by Jackson. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Deshaun Jackson, 57 yards, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And he'll be stopped just shy of the 25 with a penalty marker down. Here's the call. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So after the face mask, they get to start all the way up past the 35 now. Able to slither by. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. And what we just saw, very, very rare. We only had 5 of those in the first 50 Super Bowls.
The biggest stage, the biggest game, and we just saw it happen again. Extraordinary.
The defense has been good, and they were good again there. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. As the Raiders set up for this next drive, you know, it's strange to think about this team moving to Las Vegas in 2020. Final home game back on December 15th in Oakland. They lost that game to Jacksonville, but what a storied franchise. great years in Oakland. Then they moved to Los Angeles, came back to Oakland, and the run the second time around in Oakland since '95 has not been as strong. Under 500 as a team since coming back. They did have the one Super Bowl appearance in Super Bowl 37, but kind of a strange ending in a season that won't end in the playoffs before they head out to Las Vegas next year. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Now Carr. Got a man. It's Brown. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Antonio Brown, as the first half is winding down, as they are an extra point away now. And he takes off with it. It's a fake.
After nearly 30 minutes of football, that touchdown puts us in a position where if they make the extra point, we're right back to even before we start the second half. Well, partner, since this new two-point rule came into play, offenses spend a lot more time working on it. That means the defenses are doing the exact same thing.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally.
And nothing but daylight ahead. 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jordan Howard in the final seconds of the first half. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly for 6. Not a hole. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Picked up by the offense. This is a live ball.
Woo! Yeah, baby, that's ours.
Following the botch PAT, they're set to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5.
All day.
So we've come upon. So the halftime show of the Super Bowl abbreviated, ready to go for the second half. The halftime show, quite a spectacle, but it's back to football for the second half of Super Bowl 53. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for it.
Let's go. Go.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They have the lead now. They'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And an alley to run. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia.
50 the mic. 50 the mic. Here I come.
On first down, they run with Howard. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
Easy work. Pac-Man. 180. Even. 4 down. Even.
Again, it's Howard.
Run. They run it.
3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
Boom.
Hey, watch Sam. Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
Wentz going to try and throw on third. And that is incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. On first down, Richard. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A Raider first down, 17 yards. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go.
53's the Mike. 53. Check 53.
Shotgun now for Carr. It's complete to Williams. And now running right through him. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. This is Richard. Sheds a second man.
He's building up some momentum, isn't he?
And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Carr on target to AB. It's a gain of 19 down to the 19, and it's a first down. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. Catch made, it's Moreau. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave him with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Now another timeout called for by the offense. And that's going to leave him with just 1 timeout remaining still in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. We'll be back. The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. Carr now on 3rd and goal. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on 4th. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders! Hunter Renfrow there to make the grab as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. Big 4th down conversion for the score and the defense. That is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
Wentz off the fake handoff to Howard. That's caught by Jackson. Then he will finally be taken down, but how about that play? It's a big one on the final act of the 3rd quarter. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Wentz now to throw. It's caught by Aguilar. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now Wentz. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely, just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Wentz looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And that will be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
The kick by Elliott is good. And that will break our tie and give them a 3-point lead. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
The Raider offense set to get this drive started, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Carr again here on 2nd and 10. He's airing it out for Williams, and this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Oh, he can't hang on to it. Almost intercepted. They would have loved a first pick of the game there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. If they're going to have a shot in this Super Bowl, they're going to need this one on 4th down. He's got his man. It's Williams. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down. Derek Carr, 3 fourth-quarter comebacks for the Raiders last year, and they only won 4 games total, so they've got some experience dealing with tight ones. A little bit of space there for the first down run, as that's going to get him about 5 yards. Tackled that time by Sidney Jones. 2nd and 5 now. Carr. Wilson's got it complete. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Make it 4 touchdown passes now for Derek Carr. And once again, the Raiders are back out in front. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And last time able to get 3. That's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Now a pass dumped off to his running back. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Again on 2nd down. Wentz. He'll hit Jackson. Complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd. The clock showing 2 minutes even in what's been a memorable Super Bowl 54. Ball here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw. Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down. First down now, but the clock continues to move. They'll look to throw. Now he's forced out left. He'll try and run it. 23 yards on the tuck and run. First down now, but that clock rolling.
Push him back. Push him back.
Now Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. 23 yards for the touchdown. As his guys have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes.
Wow, I know it's a never say never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So Derek Carr in the offense, down by a field goal, a little under a minute to go. They need at least a field goal to send this Super Bowl to overtime as they come up on first down. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, second down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Back to throw. This is caught. It's Ryan Grant. And all the way down to the 26. A big play that time for the Raiders. 49 yards. Haven't heard much from him all night, but welcome to the party, making his presence felt in a big way.
They've kept him under wraps all night long, but boy, did he find a great time to bust out.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. And finding the tight end Wilson. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. So the field goal unit is on the field.